Nicky Cuba getting ready to go, B-wing. Shallow getting a little spin out there. He's going to be heading out to the Dorito side. The one thing is stay out of the penalty box. And, Impact only had 5 major penalties. They had 28 minors. Ironmen, penalty-heavy team, man. They had 15 major penalties and 33 minor penalties this year.
Wow.
They were the most penalized team in the entire league. And we see right now, bloodbath for Impact off the break. Absolute destruction out there. Brandon Short having a field day on the Snake side. Brandon Short getting a little hand pump as his team takes a 1-point lead right now as we head into the second half. You hear the crowd starting to chant Ironman, and Brandon Short, number 5, walking off. Wow, very consistent, very smart. Now, there it was right there. Finally, Ironman getting their guns roll off the break and getting some G's off the break.
That's what they had to do, so it was good. They got a big push. And, if I were the coach in there, I'd have been like, let's just forget the first half. Let's come out here. It's tied up. Let's just play paintball the way we know how. And like you said, the Ironmen force other teams to play their style of paintball.
So, Ironmen need to stay out of the box, too, man. They really do. And, penalties have plagued them this year, and maybe that's why they haven't won an event. Ironmen, in case you just tuned in, you haven't been listening to us, Ironmen, they have not won an event. They've been the most consistent team, though, other than Dynasty, who now are gone. Dynasty are either licking their wounds at the hotel or they are here watching, which they're not used to doing.
No.
Not at an event of this caliber. And the Ironmen are trying to prove that they're the defending world title holder, but really had to retool their entire squads for this year.
Right.
And also with this format, it's 15-minute halves and a race to 9 points, or the highest score at the end of regulation is the winner.
And the one thing the Ironmen have going for them, they didn't have a lot of roster changes between last year and this year. So they've come into this event with pretty much the same team that they won with last year. So that's not true for Impact. They weren't in the league last year, and they're here for the first time. So the nerves are there.
It's also pretty cool to see because they're basically running one line.
Right.
Impact's running one line, and that is what Infamous did to win the first tournament of the year. Now we see the breakout here. Johnny Perchek in there, right, the insert Aztec of the Snake, then doubled up the back center, and here comes Impact screaming down that Dorito side. They got a player at the center X. Thompson at the insert Aztec right there, and Josh Davey making moves over on the Dorito side, but getting stopped, and they lost. I'm not sure that was, but Impact player coming off, pushing aggressively, trying to make it all the way to the 40 Dorito off the break. So Ironman got that G. Ironman got all guns up across here. They're trying to get a shot. Referee running into that center X. He's running that center X, flips around the other side. Anytime you see a referee sprint across the field, there might be a penalty, But, no, he's clean, so... Would you keep pressing that Dorito side, Travis?
I've seen more games being won through the middle of the field, and that would be my push. I would play this 40-yard line center bunker, the center Dorito.
Yeah.
I would play that.
You see the center player right there.
More and more games.
Josh Davey right there, like you're saying on that Dorito side. Josh, look at the way Josh is playing. By his body language, what is he thinking right now, you think?
Just real relaxed. He's observing. He's keeping somebody out of a lane, and he's real relaxed. He's standing over the top. He knows he can make the move, and he's just kind of observing. Neither one of these teams wants to make the move here, and obviously Impact's done a really good job right here of locking off the lanes, and that's their focus with this field layout. But now Josh Davey saw something, and he's up there. Now Josh Davey in that 40 Dorito.
Up in that center. Looks like, I think that's Justin Cornell, man. Justin Cornell, they switched him to the Snake side because Thompson's just phenomenal over here so far, except for that mental screw-up.
Yeah.
But Justin Cornell rocking his gun up that center side, and there you see Marcelo Margot. Marcelo Margot was one of the stars for the Ironmen when they won the World Cup last year. And now, I think I just jinxed him. Yet Marcelo Margot dying off that Dorito side, trying to get creative, and in his spot just got caught out in the open. Now you see Mike Paxson.
And Cornell, the most relaxed of anybody on the X that I've ever seen play it.
So we've been talking a lot about Josh Davey finally. And now looks like Zach getting up there for Impact. Oh, dodges the ball. Justin Cornell rolling his gun. Ironman playing on their heels right now as Impact dominant field position, trying to tie this matchup with 10 minutes remaining in the game. And right now, if Impact loses, another thing we just haven't even really mentioned, but Impact loses, it's it. They're done. World Cup adventure's over, and they really got to step it up right here. Winning this point would be huge. Yep, and there comes Johnny Perchak. Ironman concede the point, so we got ourselves a tie matchup right now.
That's nice.
So Impact playing like they want to stay in this tournament. You know, so like we were saying, it's really kind of cool to see the Impact's here battling Ironman. Now they are down a game, fighting for their lives, but you know they're running one squad. You know, Fiazza, we met. I mean, some guys are getting in there and helping them out too a little bit. They do are getting some guys a couple other reps, but pretty much, man.
I don't think that that lends itself to succeed at the World Cup format. Like whenever you have one match a day, I think you're all right. But whenever you could have 3 matches in a day, it makes it real tough, man. And
yeah.
They've got the talent. They're running that one line. So
you know, it's interesting you say that too, and I'm glad you brought it up because got a minute 13 left before the start of this next point. We're looking at the Impact pits, but yeah, man. And you know, not only that, but they had to fight their way through the wild card division. So they played 4 games.
Right.
Then they played 2 more games. So they played 6 games. They just lost their 7th against Ironman earlier. So this is their 8th game that one squad has had to play since Wednesday.
You know, and I wonder another thing too. You know, we saw Cornell was running in the snake last couple days, and
handling.
And I mean it's abusive to dive into that snake every single point, and I'm wondering if that may be why he's in. I wonder if he's feeling a little fatigued, and that's why he's going up the middle.
That's a really good point.
It is a little. I mean, it's just abusive on your body. Your joints hurt. I mean, especially whenever you have the rain like you do. You don't run to the snake and just dive and slide. Like you stick when it's muddy like this, and it's not fun. So
that's a good point too. But that's good though that Thompson was able to get in there and pick up the slack and really start to play well over here on this side. And you know, but if it wasn't for that mental mistake in the beginning of the game, it should be 4-2 right now.
Right. Looks like Impact with a timeout.
Yep, Impact timeout, and that's a good time to throw a timeout. They're trying to conserve that clock. And you look at Nicky Cuba eyeing up downfield, Brandon Short, Scott Kemp. You know, it's interesting. You know, people are talking about football injuries, and look at those 3 guys right there. You got Brandon Short, Scott Kemp, and Nicky Cuba. Shane Pestana coming on. Now look at those 4 guys. Now, in order to get through his later years of his paintball career, Shane Pestana had to fight through bad ankles. Used to tape the hell out of both his ankles. Nicky Cuba this year almost broke his ankle. Sprained it so bad he had to spend a month and a half in a cast. Still out here performing. Now last year at this event, Brandon Short dislocated his shoulder at midpoint, one-handed, able to win a gunfight, put his shoulder back in, and then win the point.
Right.
And then you're looking at Scott Kemp 2 years ago at this same event on this same exact field at the same exact location where he's diving into that snake one, and he might be diving in there right now, blew his ACL out.
Wow.
And he spilled. All 4 of those guys you just looked at have had to have that mental mind state to still fight through horrible injuries and play at this level. And
it's tough. It messes with you mentally, you know, and one slight hesitation, it gets you shot. And if you hesitate whenever you're running a snake, or if you try to make a cut, and we were talking yesterday, that's one of the things that makes Ryan Greenspan is he has the ability to cut. And once you lose that,
And Ryan Greenspan, they won the last event, and Ryan Greenspan had like a hairline fracture in his back.
Yeah.
You know, so this is as intense as football, man. People, you know, we're not hitting each other, but these guys throw themselves around so much on the ground. They practice so much, and they wear their bodies down. Look at Billy Wing, too. Billy Wing, 11th year in the league. Last year, the doctor told him he was like, he had tore a ligament in his knee like a couple years ago, and he was playing on that the whole time. You know, so he didn't even play the World Cup last year. Diving out, Brandon Short, making it out there to the corner. Scott Kemp following up right behind him.
Ironmen walking off in pairs over there.
Oh, yeah, bloodbath for the Ironman. Nicky Cuba, only guy on that side is, looks like Billy Wing got shot going over there. Billy Wing got shot on that side. And looking at Brandon Short right now, able to beat his opponent into the snake. Ironman but he gets shot out of there. Shot cross field by, of course, Josh Davey. Shooting cross field, knows exactly where he needs to put that lane. Saw Brandon dive in there, and as soon as he dove in, he just started shooting that lane. Are you thinking that now? So talk me through, Travis. If let's say you're Josh Davey and you see Brandon Short dive into the little beginning of the spot? Don't you just start putting your gun right on that lane and wait for him to pop up just like he did?
That's exactly what he's doing. It's anticipation, and that's what.
Looking at Josh Davey on the screen right now.
I mean, paintball is half skill, and the other half a mixture of anticipation and luck
and that mental tenacity, like I keep saying, man. You really have to stay focused out there, and you're putting together this big grand equation. Josh Davies got to focus on the Dorito side and stay alive, but also as soon as he sees that Brandon gets in there, he knows I'm the only one that's got a really good shot on that lane. I got to get across the field, put a lane down there, hope he comes up to it. Boom. Sure enough, Brandon does come up into it. Now, because of that, they don't have anybody in the snake. Ironman, nobody in the snake.
I'm not sure what Impact's talking about in their pits, but I mean, if we have a 4-on-2, we're going to push a lot harder than what they're doing, man. And not only is it a 4-on-2, but the two Ironman players are stacked in the middle. I mean, really should be over by now. Yeah, and we're looking at Scott Kemp right now, all tied up at 3 apiece, 6:11 left on the clock. Look at Thompson right now into Snake 1 for Impact. Now, he knows that if his team doesn't step it up and score a couple points here and win this game, they're going home. And, again, they fought up coming up the ranks. It's the first year in the NXL, been stunning in the lower divisions, and now we're here finally at the top level of the game. And I really don't think that Impact knows the count. I don't think that they know it's G3. I mean, if you look at the Impact Dorito player, he's shooting down the wire. And now getting cross field, Anthony Fiazza. And there goes Thompson into the field, immediately just powering down the side, trying to fill out Scotty Kemp. Did he get a shot on him? No, wasn't able to get a shot on him. He immediately guns up cross field. So you see this angle. Thompson past the 50-yard line, trying to get cross-field shots, and he was able to do that because the guns had to shift because on the opposite side of the field, Fiazza is already on the Ironman side of the field at the Ironman's 40-yard line Dorito. And you're looking at Scott Kemp zoned up on Fiazza right now. I've seen him a lot of times checking down the wire, and I don't know who he's shooting at. You look at him now, he's in that Dorito, and he's looking down the wire, and I don't. Yeah, and they concede the point. So nice job by Impact to take the lead here. The score now, Impact 4, Ironman 3. So what were you saying, Travis? I don't think that Impact knew the score. I think that and you see some of the guys walking in the pits like throwing their hands up like, why didn't I know there wasn't a guy there? Yeah. It was a 4-on-2 for the longest time. Oh, they could have won that game, they could have won that point 30 seconds ago. Oh, easy, and that's what I don't understand. And I mean, if there's one team that has the talent of players, like we saw B Short, they were down on bodies. If you lose track of a guy, he's gonna put it to you. And I can't believe that Impact just kind of took their time with that. Ironmen are not a team that I would let have any more time to think out the game. They definitely the last team that I want to give any extra time to. Yeah, absolutely. So now we're at 5 minutes. So there's 5 minutes left in this match. Could be 5 minutes left in Impact's World Cup chances here, but they're looking good right now. They won that very close point, and we've said it before. If you want to win the tournament, win the close points. That's always like Rusty Glaze. Hopefully we'll get him up here in a little bit, but Rusty Glaze used to always bring that up, man. And as he progressed through the NXL, that was one thing he noticed that, it's when you're in there and you're thinking and you're in your bunker and people are dying, your streams of pain are coming in at you and the time is starting to tick down and it's close. You really got to be thinking, okay, I got a gut check time right now. I really got to win this close point, and I got to do whatever I got to do to get that point on the board. Not to beat a dead horse, but it really should be 5-2 right now. Yeah, not to be exact, not to be a horse, but that's true. And in favor of Impact. They've got to know that. They've got to, and whenever the game's over, if they end up winning, they have to go into Game 3 knowing, like, man, we really did put it to the Ironmen, and they are. They're playing really well. So. Yeah, they are. And also showing a lot of diversity and showing different plays and giving the Ironmen a bunch of different looks. If you're the coach just being on the fact that you're all running the same squad, you don't want to fall into that funk as we see the breakout here of going to the same spot. You got to keep changing up, giving different looks. Ollie Lang trying to get out cross field. Impact losing one on the break. Ironmen losing one on the break. So Oliver dying, and then immediately B Short trying to fill out there, and he dies as well. So not looking good for the Ironman right now. And Josh Davey, we're seeing him go to that little cake wedge over on the far side and play over the top of it all the time. We got Zach Yakmek right here. Immediately here comes Justin Cornell diving in, and Justin Cornell and the Snake scurrying up. And it's just Justin Cornell on this Snake side right now.
the Ironmen have, looks like Miko Huthrin over there for
on
the
your
finish sensation. And you're looking at right now, that's Josh Davey.
And you just saw him. He was playing over the top, and he's really comfortable over there. Definitely too comfortable. Ironmen have got to put some pressure on him. Look at him. There he goes. Not on your screen right now, but he's over the top of that thing again, just really comfortable.
Looking at Mike Paxson. Mike Paxson trying to get shots across the field. He's in that stand-up bunker in the center.
Here, you see Josh Davey on the top right-hand corner of your screen. You see how far back off that he's playing? Nobody's really putting much pressure on him. That's
because, they spread the field. And then that's that 1-2 punch that has been real effective. Is that the 1-2 punch that got them out of the wild card division was Justin Cornell and the Snake and Josh Davey over there on the Dorito side. They switched it up a little bit, but just like we talked about, this is interesting, just exactly what we just said. You got to keep throwing different looks at them. They've been throwing Thompson over here on the Snake side. Now we got Justin Cornell contributing, and still Mike Paxson just constantly keeping. And it looks like Ironmen
concede the point. Ironmen lost that Dorito tape. That's why they decided to give up that point.
It was just Paxson trying to hold down over there, and it was good. So basically why they did that was, there still was a body alive for the Ironmen, but, really you got to keep enough time on the clock to try to get a comeback. So now there's 3:11 left on the clock, and it's 5-3. It impacts favor. And right now, if I'm the Ironman, I'm going to go back in that huddle and be like, okay, we got to get our offense going again. We're getting checked right now. Our offense is not producing, and
if you look at the first half versus the second half, we saw the Snake played so much in the first half. There were guys running into one another. There were guys running, bunkering guys out. I mean, there was a lot of action in the Snake in the first half, and then you get here to the second half, and it's like, we've seen guys get to the Snake Tower, the Snake 1, Snake 2, and nobody's pushing it anymore. So it's kind of interesting, and we've talked about that before, how a field, as a game goes on and as a tournament goes on, the fields develop and players start pushing from different areas, and it's kind of neat. We're seeing more pushes up the middle. We're seeing a few pushes, creative pushes up the Dorito side, guys getting in there at different places, and the Snake is kind of one of those things, like, we'll tease it every now and then, but nobody's really seeing it as a priority.
Which is, you got to.
You've got to respect it. You've got to look at it. You've got to keep the other team out of it, and you've got to find a way to push. And if it's not up the Snake side, you got to find somewhere to throw that guy. And like I said, honestly, if I'm the Ironman right now, I'm going to play this 40 Dorito. I think that this 40 Snake side Dorito is one of the best bunkers on the field, and we've seen any teams that have played it and have done well. They've won that point. So
absolutely.
If I'm the Ironman, that's where I'm sending somebody.
You look at Nikki Cuba, Oliver Lang, and Billy Wing right now talking it over.
That strongest point that we saw for the Ironman was when Ollie Lang and Johnny Perchek both came up the Snake side. And I think it was Johnny Perchek went to that Dorito. Ollie just basically ran down the tape.
And timeout call by the Ironman. Wanted to get Shane Pestana on the field, trying to get his boys pumped and the last-minute instruction. Maybe some tidbits of info that he maybe has got from his spies out there watching in the stands. Impact are playing good, man. They're so impressive. They're coming out of Edmonton, Canada, and the squad that they have out there is those guys, and the 6 original core members of the team is the guys who are out there handling business right now.
Right. We were talking yesterday, not on the webcast, but just in conversation, how you have to look at the teams, and the teams that communicate across the field and don't rely on the coaches, I think, are the teams that once it comes Sunday and once it's in the finals, those are the teams that are more likely to succeed, because right now, you can hear a coach on the side. It's not as packed as it's going to be the finals game on Sunday.
Finals will be madness.
Right.
This whole entire area will be ringed by fans.
And we saw that with some teams. Some teams rely solely on their coach. And if your coach doesn't relay information or whatever, they point and they get upset. But the teams that still communicate, you have your coach, but you also have to communicate across the field, and those are the teams that on Sunday are definitely going to push through. So it's interesting. The only reason I say that is we heard the Ironmen kind of talking back and forth in that last point. Whenever it's they're kind of down on players, and you can see them looking back and forth, talking to one another, and that's really important. I can't tell you how good that is, from a coach to see, guys, you have to be out there and talk. I know I'm the coach, and I know I'm yelling plays, I'm yelling positions, everything, but you've got to talk, because come Sunday, I might as well not be here.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to hear me, so assume I'll do my best to give you the information I can in between points. 5 seconds to go here. 3:11 left on the clock, and Ironman, they got to get something done. Let's see what happens. Thompson breaking out. Bunker, insert bunker ball on the snake side. Rolling his gun, trying to zone up. Let's see, did the Ironman make it out? And Ollie Lang trying to get something done up the center field. Gets mowed down by Justin Cornell. And Justin Cornell trying to come. He makes it across the Ironman side of the field. Billy Wing tried to pick it up. Here comes Nicky Cuba. If Nicky Cuba picks up that Justin Cornell is in that spot, he's going to go get him. So you see Nicky Cuba in the top right-hand corner of your screen in that the Temple stand-up, and Justin Cornell. That's Nicky Cuba right there. Nicky Cuba. Now, as soon as he finds out Justin Cornell's there, he's going to try to go get him. He definitely doesn't know he's there right now. And Justin Cornell, he's just zoned up on that snake lane. And here he comes. Nice job of Nicky Cuba, and he almost tries to make it to the snake. So there we go, Nicky Cuba taking out Justin Cornell. That needed to happen. Billy Wing still alive over there on the Dorito side, and now Impact doubled up in the Aztec behind the snake. And here comes Brandon Short hunting into snake one. Oh, looks like Zach getting shot out of the when they were doubling up. It's just bunker wasn't big enough for him because coming down that snake side, I think that's Marcelo Margot. Billy Wing and Marcelo Margot on the Dorito side with dominant field position. Billy Wing swinging over.
Impact trying to do exactly what you talked about. They're down on bodies, and they try to shift out to the Dorito and see if they can create some confusion. I think the Ironmen have found him now, but definitely didn't see the move in the beginning.
Minute and 47 seconds left as time starts to tick down, and clock is not on the Ironman side right now. They need to start getting some aggression going. Billy Wing all the way swinging out to the Dorito side, and here comes Brandon Short. He was able to take it out. He cleared this entire snake side out, and that's going to do it. So here come the Los Angeles Ironmen. 1 point away from tying this match up with a minute 30 still on the clock. Trout, dude, this is a good close game.
This is a real good one. This is a real good one, and I love these. I love these minute 30 points because it's just enough time where you can start conservative and then push.
Yeah.
And that's we've seen some of the less experienced teams just try to throw guys right up the middle on the break, and it's not always the best play. Like we talked about yesterday, it's like poker. You got to play the percentage. Let's get guys safely to their bunker. Let's figure out where they're at, and then we'll push from there.
All right, so with a minute 30, there's really not going to be probably unless there's just complete destruction for one team. Like let's say Ironman lose, and it's big because if Impact comes out and shoots a bunch of guys off the break, if Impact comes out and shoots a bunch of Ironmen off the break, and then they need to make that decision. Can I make I don't want to shoot a couple guys off the break and then try to make a big move and get dinked out, and then it gives the Ironman a chance to get back in the game. You want to again just like we talked about last game. When I had Rab up here, is that if you do get those kills off the break, it's like an outside linebacker. You always want to keep that outside contained.
Right.
If you keep that outside contained, you're going to be successful, especially when it's this little amount of time left. So on the flip side, the Ironmen they need a good break here because there's not a lot of time left.
Impact's winning, but honestly, not to take anything away from them, but I don't feel like they're playing as well as we saw them play yesterday. Mm-hmm. I honestly feel like they're not capitalizing on opportunities that they have, and we've seen that a couple times where they're way up on bodies and they're not jumping on it, man, and it's tough to see.
All right, so I'm wondering. Let's see who comes out. The Ironman got Billy Wing.
We're gonna have
Marcelo Margot pumping himself on the chest, trying to get up.
We're gonna have a replay of that Nicky Cuba run through here.
Oh, let's check it out. We see Nicky Cuba here on the replay. As soon as he senses and figures out Justin Cornell is in that bunker, boom, he launches, comes through, sprints down, gunned up, bam, takes him out. Nice job by Nicky Cuba. And here we go. Let's see how the breakout goes. Most important point of the match, obviously, because it's a 1 point game. And what happened on the breakout? Ironman losing two off the break. That's very bad for them.
And Ironman's conceding the point.
Wow. I think they lost 3 off the break.
Yeah.
Wow, that's just like we said, man. So the Ironmen immediately can see the point now, hoping that they can score 2 points now to tie it up. So now the strategy is come hard and heavy, score a quick maybe 30-second point, and then try to do that again.
Right. Before, when we talked about inexperienced teams, they'll just throw guys up the middle. Now a really experienced team will throw guys up the middle. You have to. You have to throw guys.
Well, it's because it's the only place that you can go and consistently live off the break quick. Because going outside again, like you said, poker. Am I gonna try to fish for that flush on the flop?
Right.
Do I? Am I gonna just try to chase that flush? No, you don't want to run outside. You do need to get outside, but it's better to run a stunt. Guys up the center, then break out wide.
Right. You have this huge X in the middle. You run right behind it. You get up there. And once you're up there, you have about 3 seconds to figure out exactly what's going on and if there's a guy on the other side of it, and you got to take care of it.
Yeah. And that's pretty much how it breaks down. I mean, mentally on this point right here, if you're the Ironman, you try to charge hard and eyes up again, and you just hope to God that your gun is on point more than the other guys, so that you hopefully get a G off the break. And then once you get to that first initial spot, like hopefully the X or maybe the Dorito, someplace far, but you immediately need to win your first gunfight, wrap around, and then move. Because they got to win. They have to right now. The Ironmen have to win a 30-second point to stay in this match. If they don't win a 30-second point, this game's over.
Right.
Even if they win, like if it goes any longer, that doesn't matter. There's not enough time. They only have a minute. They got destroyed off the break that last point. Impact just guns on fire, getting that awesome those shots off the break to kill 3 dudes.
That's one of these points where all 5 guys have to have guns up, no matter where you're running.
Just a couple seconds to go. Here it is. On the breakout, Thompson getting in there, the heavy guns. Josh Davey immediately looks out into a ball, and there they go up the center, just like we said, and breaking out hard on the Dorito side of the field. Marcelo all the laying up in the center. He might have got shot. And a 2-minute penalty. That's going to do it for the Ironmen. That's the nail in the coffin right there. And it's funny, Oliver Lang, he's the best, but he's also the most highly penalized player in the league. I don't know if a lot of people know that statistic, but and again, Ironmen can continue they've been playing pretty clean this event, but if you look at the statistics as we're going to watch, trying to come down the line, you have Brandon Short way back here on the snake side of the field. He needs to try to put somebody in and make a move. As looks like Justin Cornell dying. So here comes Marcelo trying to make something out of that penalty. He gets scotch shot. So yeah, he's going to be able to. Oh my God, stepping up, Marcelo Margot. Wow, I thought that was going to be it, but Marcelo decided, you know what? Hey, that's it. I'm not going. And he showed that heart last time. So Brandon Short hanging that flag. So 22 seconds left on the clock. So 22 seconds left, and on that Oliver Lang penalty, you look at the statistics here. The Ironmen are by far the most highly penalized team in the league. I mean, you have 15 major penalties and 33 minor penalties. There's no one else is even close. And Oliver, because, and that's the thing, when you're any of the top name players in the league, and that actually haunted Thomas Taylor in the beginning of the year. Thomas plays at the razor's edge,
right.
And that burned him a lot in the beginning of the year. Oliver, same way, man. I mean, and another thing is everyone's eyes are on you. You're always running around doing crazy stuff, and that's going to draw a lot of penalties.
Yep.
It's like a defensive back just pushing that envelope, trying to, do the best he can to cover Trell Owens,
Well, we've talked about that on a lot of our teams, man. Like, you have to be smart with it. And, it's cool to go down and stick your barrel in somebody, but you know what, man? If it's 5-on-1, like, the guy's got to come out. Shoot the edges of his bunker. Let him come out into the ball. Rather than running down there and, your own player clips you in the pack. You don't know. You go down. You get a 2-minute. It's just – there's a time and a place, and obviously, like, that wasn't one of those situations. Like, he had to push there, and you know what? If you have to play the gray area to win two points in 30 seconds, and it's just like football. Every single play in football, an offensive lineman holds. Every single play.
Yeah.
You're running, you're gambling, and sometimes you get caught, and sometimes it hurts you, and then sometimes, it's worth it, and if you run to that spot, you get hit on the elbow, you put it into the bunker, you kill 3 guys, and then you get pulled out, like, heck, they took 2 guys off your team. You took 3 off of theirs. You know, I mean, it's like like I said, it's one of those gambles, and guys are always like, "Oh, that guy cheats. It's bad." Look at pro football, man. Like, every single play, somebody's holding, and it's if you get caught, and you got guys that if you get caught a lot, you're going to get cut. And
All right, so here we go. This is it. 22 seconds on the clock. 4 seconds to go before the start of this point. Ironmen are going to come flying down the field. Let's see where they break out. And on the stunt, running and gunning. They're taking every spot all the way up the gut. Here comes Mike Paxton. Destruction on the Dorito side, and here comes Mike Paxton all the way down. Mike Paxton almost makes it all the way through. Takes out all those guys. Here comes Brandon Short. And Brandon Short's going to do it. And here come the Ironmen tying it up. Oh, my God. Woo! Wow. And you listen to the crowd just explode.
0 on our clock, 2 seconds left on the official game.
And that comes down to Marcelo stepping it up.
And that last.
So, the superstar Ollie, and Marcelo has been having to live in Oliver's shadow this entire time. And that kills him because, Oliver's 26 years old, man.
Yeah.
He's been doing this forever. And Marcelo, he's 18 years old.
Yeah.
He's 18. And he wants that title, and honestly, Marcelo is so talented that he could one day be the best.
Well,
when you pull out points like that, you prove to the world that you are on that level. Oliver gets a penalty, and then Marcelo goes out there and decides, you know what? Okay, yeah, we just lost 2 of our guys. We had a terrible breakout. It's just me and B Short left, but I'm going to personally go down and I'm going to shoot 4 guys,
right?
And I'm going to win the point. And that look at that. You look at the spread the Ironmen just ran. They ran Mike Paxton up the gut, and he did a stunt. He ran to the left side of the X, dipped, went around the right side of the X, and then ran up the field, shot 2-3 guys, and then and everyone else off that chaos came around, and B-Short with the composure went and grabs the flag and runs it in.
And the only bad thing here is that Ironmen are going to start overtime with a man in the box.
You're right.
And still, it's one of those things. Like, I think they dodged a bullet. They started with 4. They came out on top. They even won the point that they got the penalty in. But I don't know, man. Winning 3 points in a row with the penalty on, it's bad. And
look at this though. Looks like a minor penalty assessed on Impact.
And something you got to think about right here. And like I said, I like talking about it because I'd never seen it before. But if Impact hadn't hung the flag on the wrong end,
this game wouldn't be talking right now. We'd be talking about the Russians playing the Philadelphia Americans, which is coming up right after the finale of this match. And here's the deal: chips are on the line. That's it. Impact's all in right now. And if they lose this point, that's it. Their World Cup adventure is done, and it was a noble fight. And but they don't want to go home right now. They want this third game. They feel that they can best the Ironmen. And like you said, this game should be over.
It should be over.
If you just tuned in, Thompson on Impact, Thompson he in the very first point went down, won a 2-on-1 in a really bad position. I mean, Miko had the drop on him, but he still bested Miko, and then polished off the last Ironman player, went and grabbed the flag and hung it on the wrong side of the field. And that gave the Ironman a point. That's the rule in the NXL. I mean, that's a rule in paintball. You hang it on the wrong flag station, and the other team gets the point. So Ryan Hamilton, Johnny Thompson, and then, and honestly, I'll give props to him because he came back from that mental mistake and played a great game.
Yeah,
and they needed him to do that.
That's another thing to think about. All right, he cost us a point. Actually, it's actually a 2-point swing. And so, he cost us a point, but he's come back and he's won us 3 or 4 since then.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, he cost us a point, but how many points has he won?
Yeah.
What do you do? 4 on each side, 36 seconds left. You just, both teams have a penalty. Both teams starting with 4, and Ironmen are going to get back to full strength stronger or faster.
Yeah, and that's one thing I was going to say. If I'm the Ironman's coach, I'm looking in there, and I'm going to say, all right, obviously you're going to play somebody in the back center because it's a great place to shoot from, but whoever that is has to look at the clock and know, all right, in 36 seconds you have to get out of there so that the guy in the box has a place to go, because he can't go from there to anywhere else. He's going to get shot. So you have to get there. You have to do your job while you're there, and then you have to shift out. But at the same time, on the other side of that, you can't shift out from the back center and drop a lane, because that's just going to give Impact a chance to run through. So you have to cover that lane. You have to get that guy out of there, and you have to get your guy out of the box. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So with a minute and 43 left, and another thing too is let's think. Okay, and it's interesting always to see who teams send out for these overtime points, because they're going to send out their best, who they feel are their best. Because there's a lot of conjecture: who's the best player, who's this and that. A lot of it's subjective, which is why, we've got Nick Sloviak from Aftershock managing our kill count here, and we're trying to We've the NXL's working on a bunch of other statistics that they're going to be implementing in as they progress, the sport to the next level.
I want to show you something real fast. The Impact penalties come off the board. So apparently they said that guy was in the box, I guess, before the hang, and they've taken that penalty off. So Impact will be starting 5-on-4.
Wow, so that's big. 20% advantage goes to them.
Right, absolutely.
Everybody you have off the field gets 20% of your force. Wow. Okay, so out on the field right now for the Ironmen, Billy Wing, Nicky Cuba, Marcelo Margot, of course, because he's played so well that to keep him in it. Brandon Short, and in the box, Oliver Lang. Across the field, you're looking at Thompson, Davey, Anthony Fiazza.
Josh Davey coming off the field.
Josh Davey, maybe his leg's hurting him now. Is he limping? He's still running around. But no, Josh Davey will not be on the field. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's you would think if you're Impact.
Is he hurting? I don't understand. I don't know why you would not play Josh Davey right now.
He's playing really solid.
Yeah,
too.
He's played great the entire event. Something's got to be wrong with him. Can Thompson make it out? Justin Cornell out there as well, of course. Josh Ouimet. Here it goes, the breakout.
One of the Ironman guys left early.
Ironman gets shot. Marcelo Margot shot off the break. Looks like they might have lost Brandon Short.
He left the box early.
Oh, he left the box early. Terrible. Oh, Brandon Short still alive, so Nikki Cuba, Billy Wing, and Brandon Short in left alive. Justin Cornell already up to the center X. And doubling up that back center. Here comes Josh Wimet. Oh, Justin Cornell's going to come off.
8 seconds left on that penalty. We're going to...
Oliver Lang's about to fly out of the box. Here comes Oliver Lang. He's going to make it out. Oliver Lang makes it out of the penalty box, but Nikki Cuba dies as soon as Oliver passes him.
3 on 3.
3 on 3 right now. Cross-field spread. Billy Wing, Oliver Lang, Brandon Short. Brandon Short making a move out to the back corner on the snake side. And mirroring that is Zach Yakmek. He makes a move too. He makes both players in alive. It's 4 on 3 right now. 4 on 3. 4 players for Impact. Cross-field, all in the back bunkers, lined up, pretty evenly spread. Back corner on the snake. Insert Aztec. Back stand up on the Dorito. D1. You can see Nikki Cuba walking off. Oh, man, he's normally Nikki's the clutchest guy except for Paxton and Ollie on that, and B-Wing on that team. But now Billy Wing pressing down that Dorito side. Makes it into D2. Oliver Lang backing him up. You are looking at Thompson and Zach Yakmek. Zach going to make a move now to Snake 1. So finally somebody gets into the Snake. Uh-oh, Zach Yakmek. I think, did he just miss a shot? Wow, Zach, that was pretty interesting. Missed his shot on Oliver Lang. No, Oliver gets shot, so Oliver walks off, and now it's just 2, Billy Wing and Brandon Short, left to try to win it for the Ironmen. And Impact, still 4 bodies left alive. And here you're talking about Travis. Yeah. They got that. They still have 4 on 2 right now.
Yeah, and now finally Impact. It looks like they're going to push. But man, look, they gave him a window.
Billy Wing coming down the drill side. Billy Wing down the drill side, and Zach can't see him though. Zach's trying to look cross field to see him. Now Zach's trying to get a shot on Brandon.
Impact losing another one, so it's a 2 on 3 now.
2 on 3, and there's Zach.
There we go. This should be the it for Billy Wing.
Oh, and Billy Wing gets shot cross field. Nice job by Zach.
1.
So it's just Brandon Short. Can he pull off a 3 on 1?
But look, again, we got the Impact players on the tape over there on the Dorito side. He's just looking down the wire. He can't see what's going on. He doesn't know the count. Now they got it.
Zach gunned up, and here. And that is going to do it for the Ironmen. Congratulations to Impact.
There we go.
As they beat the LA Ironmen in their second match. So with the backs against the wall, Impact stepping up. And though, it was a pretty crazy game, and we saw some stuff we haven't seen in a long time. Marcelo pulling off a, 2 on, God, I don't even know, it was like a 2 on 4 or 5, shooting a bunch of dudes himself after Oliver Lang's penalty. And then, and Thompson hanging the flag on the wrong side. We shouldn't have even gone to overtime.
Right.
But Thompson stepped up, man. He handled it. He went past that mistake. Good job by him. Great play by Zach Yakmek. And I'll tell you what, dude, Josh Davey was not on the field. Impact still wins that point. That's a real big mental boost to a lot of those guys. As you know, it's great. Thompson, yes, collapses down. I think he's either totally stoked or it might be a dirty hang. No, I think the final Thompson's. No, he's just. Did you see that? Thompson literally collapsed.
Yeah.
And at first I thought, my first reaction was, oh, dirty hang.
Yeah.
But I guess that was just him collapsing because he's glad that he didn't screw his team.
Yeah, no kidding.
How fitting is that he hangs the last flag on the right?
Yeah, that's on the right stand.
On the right side.
Guy's gonna come out, show some sportsmanship. These guys are gonna meet up again.
So their games will. So we're going to a third match.
Yep.
That match is going to be coming at you at 4 p.m. So 4 p.m. sharp, we're going to have the LA Ironmen taking on Edmonton Impact. We're looking at them right now, spill out, and the Ironmen trying to figure out what went wrong.
One thing I'd like to see, and maybe we can get this for the webcast later, is average ages of these teams. Because if you look at the average age between Impact and the Ironmen have to have them beat. I mean, I know they've got some young guys too, but man, you look at some of those Impact guys, and it's tough to see anybody.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. Somebody actually looking at the questions asked from the internet from PB Nation. Yeah, if you got a question, we got PB Nation's got our own thread on there for the webcast. Get on there and ask some questions.